Scott Figgins here, and as promised, I wanted to break down this financial spreadsheet that is meant to pretty much help you out, and anybody pretty much at all levels throughout their career. So I'm going to break this down into a couple small videos, but in each video, I want to make it very clear that one, I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a fiduciary, I'm getting no financial gain from this, I have no disclaimers. And more importantly, the reason that I'm providing this to everybody is because I want this to be the gift of time. I want everybody to be able to use this to realize if they invest and invest over a significant period of time, they have compounding interest that is working in their favor. But more importantly, when you invest and you invest aggressively at the beginning of your career, beginning of your life, in the fire service, so to speak, then it will pay exponentially toward the end of your career, hopefully so much so that you will be able to retire earlier than maybe anticipated, or you can at least have options, right? And so to me, that's the gift of time. We are trading days for dollars or dollars for days, however you want to say it. But the longer we stay, certainly the more we make in this career. So anyway, that is the reason, that's the intent for this spreadsheet. With that being said, going to jump into the investment growth, and then we're going to go over here to the rate growth comparison. So this retirement account growth calculator gives you two different scenarios, right? And so what we're going to do here is, for brand new people, we're just going to say, hey, we have nothing to, initial balance. We're starting off with nothing. And what we can do is we can identify the difference with the rate of return and how that grows over the course of time. As you see here, let's change that. So as you see here, it's just a difference of 2%. The number of years invested is 10. Monthly investment is $2,000, which would be basically maxing out at $24,000 a year. Certainly you can increase that, but just to show for consistency's sake, that would be $240,000. Your future value would be $365,000. So that investment growth at 8% would be $125,000. Whereas over here, it's going to be $169,600, almost $170,000. You can continue to play with this and then identify, certainly. Let's go with 15 years, and let's go with $1,000. So now if we take this and we say for 15 years I've only invested $1,000, but then I'm going to bring it up here and I'm going to go 346,000, and I'm going to change this number to 10, and then I'm going to increase my contributions to $2,000 per month. So you can see that investing $12,000 which would be $1,000 a month for the first 15 years with an 8% annual growth rate, and then being a little bit more aggressive toward the end of your career, you're going to end up with over $1 million. Now, certainly $1 million after 25 years is not going to be what it is today. With that being said, you can also compare the same scenario over here. You can take that $409,000, but now I'm going to invest $1,000. In fact, let me go back. And I'm going to say it was, we have nothing here. We have 15 years of investing. There we go. And so we're going to put in $414,000. And then we are going to invest the last 10 years aggressively at that $2,000 mark. So you can see you're dang near $500,000 difference with a 2% rate of return. And so when we talk about investing aggressively, when we talk about having a rate of return, a simple 2% difference over a 25-year career, all things remaining the same, it's worth $500,000 more. So for people who, hey, I'm going to pull my money out and I'm going to invest it conservatively because I think that there's going to be a market crash, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. What I can tell you is if you just Google or use any AI software, look at what the S&P 500 has done for the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, since 1930. Because I'm telling you, since 1930, it's over 8%. For the last 50 years, we're close to 10%. And for the 40, 50 years, any 7 to 9 year period is going to show gain. And it's exceptionally difficult to predict the ups and downs in the market. So if you just continue to invest and invest aggressively, here's where you're at. Okay, let's move on. This right here would be, as we start to consider all things, and we say, hey, so I want to look like what my money would look like after 10 years of investment. So this would, of course, be, first year here. So really year 2 is the first year of investment. So if you go to retire and your 401a had $400,000 in it, and we'll get to that in another video. But you decide, hey, I have $400,000, but I'm thinking about taking out $100,000. Okay, with a 4% rate of return, it's not going to be that significant, right? Look, I mean, you're making about $150,000 difference here, but you also started with $100,000 less, which really means that you only made $50,000 more, so to speak. Okay, with your money, with that $400,000 being invested at 4%, that made you $50,000 more because you had $100,000 less in this column. Hopefully that makes sense. All this is doing with the same rate of return is it's going out for about 30 years. And this is to help individuals really understand the power of compounding interest. And moreover, the power if you just waited a few years, right? Because if I took this number here and I said, hey, I'm just going to, or any number, right? And I'm going to wait 5 years before I pull that $100,000 out. Or I was going to pull $100,000 out to buy a truck. And the interest rate on the truck is going to be 0.9%. Well, why don't you just make 3%, right, of your money? Because you're making 4% here. Well, it goes 6, 7, 8. This is the most aggressive that I wanted to put up here. Certainly people are making 10 and 12%, but year over year for 25 years or for 15 years, sometimes that can be difficult to do. So I only went up to 8%, but it gives you a really good understanding of how significant. So let's just do this and compare it to this column here, which would be 6%. Okay, so we're going to take 350,000 and we're going to take 300,000 and we're going to compare 6% rate of return to 8% rate of return. Now, in this scenario, I took out $50,000, right, before I actually started investing my money. It just came right out. Same scenario over here. So as we look at, because this is starting in cell 5, so if we go to cell 15, 16, right, that's about 10 years of investment, we're looking at $664,000, right, after this is being invested at a 6% rate of return. Using that same number, we're here, it's 816,000. So this is, again, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 6 year, 7 year, 8 year, 9 year, 10 year. So we're here at 10 year, 755 versus 626. We're looking at about $130,000 difference just with that 2% investment rate, 350,000. But then I can also compare it over here because I took out 50,000. Well, this is over $8,000 here. Again, I took out 50. So again, after that 10 years, the 2% rate on either side is going to be worth about 50,000. So again, there is incentive, financial incentive for you waiting. However, I will say this, the majority of retirees will spend more money in their early years of retirement, and they will spend less and less money as their retirement goes. And there's a plethora of reasons for that. One is overall health and ability to travel. 2 is usually those liabilities, if you had them when you were into retirement, right? So your house wasn't paid off, you had a car or a truck like I just talked about. Once that gets paid off, you shouldn't be, right, financially speaking, you should not be selling that truck and then going and buying a new one. You should keep that truck for an extended period of time And your mortgage is that mortgage, unless you're refinancing, your mortgage is going to stay the same. So that's how we're doing the comparison. Again, you can see how your money looks. For anybody who wants to say, hey, I'm going to invest $350,000, aggressively, and I'm going to hope on, for 10 or 15 or 20 years, and this is going to be my 457, and then I'm going to invest a little bit less aggressively with my 401a, and I've got 350 there, and I've got 350 in the 401a. You can kind of see how that looks, and then we're going to show you the different video here, how this is going to work in your favor as we start to withdraw money while we're still earning money. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching.